Welcome back to the Dry Fasting Club. Today we're going to be talking all about dry fasting and healing autoimmune diseases like long COVID, Lyme's, lupus, and rheumatoid arthritis, just to name a few. We'll discuss a few things like the healing power between a water fast and a dry fast. We'll talk about how the mitochondria may be the most important part of fixing an illness, and why things like LDN, magnesium, ivermectin, Paxlovid may be good band-aid solutions, but how they don't actually address the root cause of problems. We'll specifically dive into NAD+ and talk about how fasting is one of the only ways to truly bring back your health by addressing root causes. Also, before we begin, I want to just say that I've been there. I know what it's like to have a disease that's invisible, to be bedbound and exhausted just from brushing your teeth. From marathon runner to invalid. I know what it's like to be ignored by doctors and ridiculed by the people around you. Just get over it. Long COVID or Lyme's doesn't exist, it's all in your head. I know how depressing it gets, and I've even talked to a few people that have ended up deciding to end their lives. I wasn't able to convince them to try dry fasting. I was too late, but I hope that because you're here, you're going to give it a shot. If done correctly, this will improve your health drastically, even if it's not an easy journey. Take back your life and give everyone the middle finger as your health surpasses theirs. Yes, we know they do this out of ignorance, but you get the point. Now strap yourselves in. Welcome to the Dry Fasting Club. Please remember that all fasting should be done with medical supervision. All information provided here should be viewed as informational only and should never supersede medical advice. When you are adding fasting or making lifestyle and dietary changes, please discuss with your medical professional first. Let's talk a little bit about the basics of autoimmune diseases. To pretend we know everything or that we can pinpoint the exact problems when it comes to autoimmune diseases is ludicrous. Everyone is so unique and the human body is so complex that we have only just begun to scratch the surface. You can have things like the immune system attacking your own body, or even macrophages that stay alive too long and cause histamine reactions. You can have blood clotting issues. You can have bacteria creating and hiding in biofilms. Sometimes even your mitochondria get mutated and your NAD pathways can get affected. Then downstream effects can affect everything from your gut to your brain and even your nervous system. Sometimes you can even find viruses in your cerebrospinal fluid. Trust me, you're not getting those out with any of the current medications. Deficiencies start to get more pronounced as the viruses use up your vitamins and minerals, and then your gut absorption diminishes and causes further cascading issues. You need something that hits the unwind button, and it needs to unwind everything. The hundreds of different metabolic pathways that have been affected. It all starts with autophagy, NAD, and stem cells. That means your lysosomes, your mitochondria, and hormetic stress. Okay, so fasting activates autophagy and stem cells. These are both the building blocks and the recycling blocks of our bodies. Yin and yang. Once you truly start to understand this, you're going to start to understand that to become the healthiest version of yourself, you're going to have to master the art of fasting. When it comes to autoimmune illnesses like long COVID, we've got millions of people sick, hundreds of different theories, and no working solutions. We need to clean our blood, we need to heal and detox our organs, and we need to fix our mitochondria. Ask me about any specific aspect of the body and I will show you research papers that show that fasting has a beneficial effect. Yes, I have people constantly telling me that there are things that fasting can't fix. For example, they'll say, what about your vagus nerve? Then I point them to fasting papers like, fasting is a physiological stimulus of the vagus nerve in rats. So yes, it even fixes the vagus nerve. There are compelling theories that show that severe post-viral diseases can affect the vagus nerve and the nervous system, throwing it into disarray. I'm sure you've come across things like the polyvagal theory in your quest for answers. Did you know that meditation upregulates your parasympathetic nervous system? Yes, and so that means that there's something there when people try to tell you things like meditation and think positively are going to help. But how can a non-practitioner of meditation harness that power anyways? Well, turns out fasting can help. This paper talks about transcendental meditation affects hormonal changes that mimic that of ketosis from fasting. What this means is that the benefits of meditation can actually be copied through fasting. So what can ketosis actually do? Ketosis boosts the flow of glutamate, which is used to create GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. I hope that rings a bell. GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter for the nervous system, which basically functions in a way that calms down our central nervous system. So ketosis works by allowing more glutamate to convert into GABA through the glutamate decarboxylase pathway. I'm sure you've seen and come across a bunch of different GABA antagonist medications for your illnesses. Does magnesium glycinate ring a bell? Maybe L-theanine? Why not let your body do the work instead of becoming a pill-popping machine? Want more proof? There's a paper called Short-Chain Fatty Acids and Ketones Directly Regulate the Sympathetic Nervous System via G-protein coupled receptor 41. And it shows us that a ketone body, beta-hydroxybutyrate, suppresses the sympathetic nervous system activity by antagonizing this GPR41. This is good because we want to suppress the sympathetic nervous system, especially if it is overactive and firing constantly. Let's talk a little about NAD, mitochondria, and fasting. Personally, I believe that almost all diseases, including autoimmune ones, stem from a dysregulation of your NAD pathways and with it, mitochondria. You'll notice that when someone is chronically sick, one of the most common symptoms is fatigue. And fatigue almost always comes from insufficient NAD levels and mitochondrial dysfunction. What is NAD? Well, NAD is a molecule that is critical to every single cell in our body. Without it, mitochondria can't function. What about nutritional deficiencies? Well, if your NAD levels are low, you can expect nutritional deficiencies just because your gut will not be performing and absorbing nutrients how it should. This means that you can eat all the vitamins and minerals that you want, but your body will still not be absorbing them efficiently. You will become a slave to the pills. There's this paper that specifically shows that increasing your NAD levels actually increases the length of your villi. Villi are these tiny little finger-like projections inside of your intestines. Increased villi length translates to better absorption. You'll notice that NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, is an NAD precursor and is in my Scorch protocol. It's in my protocol specifically to give our body an NAD boost and to synergize so well with dry fasting. Then there's this paper that talks about how fasting promotes the expression of SIRT1, a sirtuin, and NAD+. We see in this paper that calorie restriction prolongs lifespan by activating NAD+ and SIRT1, a sirtuin that is linked to prolonged lifespan. What else can better NAD levels do for our body? Well, it protects your mitochondria, lengthens your villi, does DNA repair, improves cellular energy, reduces inflammation, improves metabolic conditions like diabetes, extends lifespan, and protects against neurodegenerative diseases. As you can see, NAD levels are the foundation of health. If we can fix the root causes, we can pretty much heal anything. By root causes, I'm talking about things like enzymes, like the NAMPT enzyme that salvages NAD. But that's a topic for a deeper discussion. Needless to say, fasting even upregulates NAMPT enzymes, which then translates to better NAD levels without the need for supplements, which is key. In the end, isn't this what we want? Actual health without the need to keep popping pills and taking supplements. Hopefully that made sense. So let's wrap this up. Diseases are so complicated and there are so many different things that you can do to address your health issues. The only thing that we know can address almost all root causes is fasting. And then dry fasting is the most powerful form of fasting, so why not harness it? I'm telling you, dry fasting feels 100 times better than water fasting. Once you try it, you'll convert to it as well. You'll never catch me water fasting as my first option. If you're suffering from long COVID or similar autoimmune diseases, you need to check out my Scorch protocol. Every single timing window, every single food and supplement has scientific reasoning and experimentation behind it. If you want your health back at any cost, make sure you check it out. If you want to perfect it or personalize it, then make sure that you check out the members section of the website. Good luck. Thanks for sticking around. If you've dry fasted before, have any questions or requests for future topics, please leave them in the comments below. I always check the comments for inspiration and ideas. If you're looking for a chat or to set up your dry fasting plan, check out the dryfastingclub.com website and subscribe. You should also check out the Discord community where you can meet other new and experienced dry fasters. Remember, no two people are the same, so every fasting experience is unique. Thank you and good luck on your dry fasting journey.